This really happened. In the heart of Paris, one of the world's most iconic tourist destinations, a simple but strangely effective scam has been tricking visitors for decades. The scam is known as the Golden Ring. And although the plan sounds almost childish, it works more often than you would expect. It usually begins when a woman who looks exactly like an ordinary tourist is walking near a famous landmark. A stranger approaches her, pretending to pick something up from the ground. Then, with a friendly smile, the stranger says, "Excuse me, miss. You dropped this ring. Isn't it yours?" Most tourists are confused. They look at the ring, shake their heads, and say, "No, that's not mine." But that's exactly what the scammer is waiting for. They quickly respond with something like, "Well, it's a women's ring. Maybe it doesn't fit me. I'll give it to you for a cheap price." Of course, the ring is a worthless piece of junk, brass, plastic, or some cheap metal polished to look like gold. The scammer pretends they don't want it and pushes the tourist to take the good deal. Some tourists immediately walk away. But many others feel awkward, pressured, or simply want to avoid conflict. They think, "Fine. I'll just pay a little and get rid of this person." And that moment, right there, completes the scam. What makes this scam surprisingly successful is not the ring itself but the psychology behind it. The scammers rely on a very common human reaction. People prefer to pay a small cost rather than deal with an uncomfortable situation. Especially in a foreign country, where the language is different and the surroundings are unfamiliar, many tourists avoid confrontation. Scammers know this well. They approach specifically the people who look polite, hesitant, or uncertain, usually solo travelers or women who appear to be sightseeing alone. Once the money changes hands, the scammer disappears instantly. And only afterwards does the tourist realize, this ring is completely worthless. I just got tricked. Police in Paris warn travelers every year about this, but the scam keeps returning like a seasonal event. Why? Because it's easy, fast, and low risk. There is no threat, no violence, no shouting. Just a friendly stranger offering a golden ring. To make things worse, many tourists don't even report the scam, because the loss is small and they feel embarrassed. This lack of reports allows scammers to continue working freely in crowded tourist areas like parks, bridges, and near museums. And yes, despite sounding full of holes, this scam really works. Not because the plan is strong, but because the psychology is. Before we end, here's the key lesson. This scam uses a simple psychological trap. People want to escape awkward situations quickly. The scammers don't need a convincing story. They don't need a real ring. They don't even need acting skills. They just need to create a moment where the tourist thinks, "I don't want trouble. I'll pay just to end this conversation." And that's exactly how the scam succeeds. So if someone in Paris suddenly finds a gold ring at your feet, remember, it's almost certainly not a gift, not a miracle, and definitely not your lucky day. It's a scam. A very old, very simple, and strangely effective one. Everyone understands this, but just in case, don't try this yourself, okay?